Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Caroline. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back. I am so glad to see all of your faces. It warms my heart to know that you guys actually enjoy watching me just talk. So yeah, let's get into today's video. So today I'm gonna wrap up December because I think as much as December, like Christmas was a crazy month and like Christmas is a crazy month, oh my god, December is a crazy month with Christmas and New Year all mashed into there. I think it's still important to wrap up what I read and what I did last month and just talk about a bit about the books that I enjoyed and didn't. So oh, that was scary. Something just moved behind me. Yeah, so basically, while I started the month off really well, about like the second week, the wheels kind of fell off and I just stopped reading and I just kind of started to enjoy Christmas because Christmas is my favorite time of the year. And so yeah, now it's kind of over. I'm really sad, but not much I can do. Gotta wait for next year, for this year's Christmas, which is 12 whole months away, so yay. So this month I didn't do too bad for the few days that I was reading. I read 4 books. Well, not really. This one was did not finish. So I started to read this probably like October-ish. And then I put it down and I spoke about this in one of my videos actually. I put it down and so initially I bought this book because I was like, oh, exciting. It came out 2019 and I was like, no one's spoken about it. Let's read it and, you know, kind of get the ball rolling on this book. And so yeah, I bought it and I was a bit excited by the blurb. And then it arrived and I was like, I'm excited. It's also hardback. I never splurge on a hardback either. Like I usually always go paperbacks, but for this one, I don't know why I splurged on a hardback. And it's a very boring hardback too, which is even worse. But I started reading it and I was like, reading the first page, reading the second page, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I cannot understand any of this shit. And it's set in the 1400s. Well, not really in the 1400s, but like in this fantasy universe is in like the 1400s. And it's so difficult to read and understand. The language behind it, like this is supposed to be for YA. I am in my 20s, pretty proficient at English, and I struggle to understand this. So I actually, yeah, I was a bit like, how can a 16-year-old read this and follow and understand? Like it was really bad in that respect. And it was also, I don't know, I have a problem with books that start in the middle of an issue. I really do, because as I read them, I'm always like, like, are we starting in the middle of an issue and I don't even know what's going on? So then it kind of backtracks about like what happens to get to that issue. But then you're like, I'm so confused. Why did we just talk about like the middle of a problem when you could have just like started at the start of a problem, explained it, gotten to the middle of a problem. At the same time, the bigger issue behind the book is kind of coming out. Yeah, so that's, yeah, yeah. I need to stop saying yeah. But basically, I found that really hard to understand because I didn't, the groundwork to what was going on was not laid in this book, because it just kind of expected you to kind of, your interest to be piqued over this problem that the book started off with within the first 3 pages. But for me, I'm like, how can I be interested in this problem when I don't even know who the main character is and I don't even understand anything? So yeah, this did not finish. I'm really sorry I did not like it. I couldn't read past page 50. And I tried this twice, so yeah. There was that one. And then I also read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And this was a horrible book. And I know so many people, like I do love Leigh, like I love her other series, but this book, like, so again, my main issue with this book is they started at the end of the story and then worked their way backwards. Why? Why do you start at the end of a story and then through a past tense talk about this is what happened, this was the guy I loved, then he went missing, and so we went looking for him only to find out that he was killed by a monster. Like, what? I liked the idea of the fact that this was playing on this secret society within Yale, and basically that secret, because no one knows about the secret, like what's in the secret society, because it's a secret. But so basically Leigh was like, okay, so what if this secret society was actually a cover for like people that are like magical and they can do magical things and call on magical beings. And so yeah, that idea I thought was really, really, really smart and witty. But I just don't understand why she started the book off at the end and then to work her way backwards. Like I didn't click, didn't like it. Probably, yeah, up there with one of the worst books of 2019. Yeah, so December started off really bad. And I think that was part of the reason why I struggled to read books, because when you kind of start off on some really crappy books, then you just kind of lose your mojo. So yeah, there was all that. And then I read The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. I actually read this in the space of one weekend. It was a Saturday night, and I finished off the last few pages on the Sunday. So I read this. So a bit of a backstory here. I've been trying to get my hands on From Blood and Ash. And basically all of my bookstores don't have it until February of this year. And so this was back in November last year, and I was like, oh, I really want to get my hands on From Blood and Ash because everyone's reading it, everyone's saying how much they love it, everyone's talking about it, and I just felt like the third wheel that was left out. And so I was like, oh, I need to get my hands on it, I need to read it. And so I got confused, and I thought Tricia Levenseller wrote From Blood and Ash when it's not. It's Jennifer L. Armont. And so then I bought this book, and I was like, yes, I got my hands on a copy. And so The Shadow Between Us arrived, and I started reading it, and I was like, oh, this is a really good book. And then I was like, but I thought the main character's name was Poppy, and I thought the main protagonist's name was Poppy, and her love interest's name was Hawk. And then I kept reading it, and I was like, oh, this is the wrong book. Yes, I bought the wrong book. But anyway, The Shadows Between Us was a new book that came out last year anyway. And people were talking about it more in like the June kind of time frame, July. So I got it, I read it. It wasn't bad, it was pretty good. Basically it was just about this guy who was the king of this area, and someone was out to kill him, and he didn't know who it was, and at the same time he was trying to find a wife. And then the main girl, her name was, what was her name? It was like Olive or something. Alessandra. That's right, it was Alessandra. How did I get Olive? I don't know. But anyway, so Alessandra wanted to become Shadow King herself. So she wanted to kill the Shadow King and take over the kingdom. Because she was a second daughter to an earl, she was basically overlooked. So basically her sister went to try and become queen, and the Shadow King didn't, like, sent her away after a month. And so she begged her father to send her instead. And so he did. And she played it really well. She was like Anne Boleyn, basically. Alessandra was like Anne Boleyn of the Shadow Realm. And yeah, so that was what happened. Then he basically said, because he knew she was a really good match, the Shadow King, he was like, I will help you to advance within your social status and climb the social ladder, but you will pretend to be my girlfriend. And in the end, love happened and they ended up falling in love and getting married and blah blah. So yeah, that was that book. That was really, really good. But it wasn't from Blood and Ash. So so there's that. So I read that. I also read this, The Last Regret, by Mari Jin. I actually won this book in a giveaway, which was awesome. I did a video on that. And so I finally got around to reading it. And yeah, these were the character pictures that I got in my giveaway, and I also got a bookmark. And so, yeah, so I read this. I finally got around to reading it. Basically, this book is about, it's set in 16th century France. And so Elena and Lucas are children of like farmers, and their town gets invaded, and so they run to hide away from these beings that are invading them. And then once they get invaded, their parents, Elena's parents and her sister are killed, and so is Lucas's family. And these beings that tried to kill her, why did my camera just go dark? I have no idea what that means. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so anyway, basically, yeah, what happens is these beings, Marcus is one of them. They take her because she has the power of the stone of 4 fires. So there's 4 different stones. There's earth, water, wind, and fire. And she has one of those powers. And so they take her back to their compound, and then they actually find out that there's 2 different types. So the people that invaded and killed her are the Nephirenes. I think they're Nephirenes. No, the Nephirenes are them. So then the bad ones, I can't remember their names. The ones that were invading, I can't remember their names, but they're the bad ones. They're the ones that just kill. And the Nephirenes are not. They're like quiet, docile people. And so basically they turn Elena into a Nephirene, and so then she grows up. So the book starts with Elena as like a 5-year-old, and then in the middle of the book she kind of turns into like a 20-ish year old, like a full adult. And then they change Lucas as well because they realize Lucas has another power. And so throughout the book, basically, so this is the first book, so it introduces you a little bit to the powers and what they're looking for, and then in the next book it'll beef it out more. And so it kind of just, yeah, it ended. And I was like, oh my god, what's happening next? Because there is a lot of twists and turns. Lucas dies, and I was like, oh my god, Lucas is dead. So yeah, it's really good. There's a love triangle in this book, and then there's like best friends to lovers kind of in this book, and there's a bit of everything in this book. It's really, really, really good. Yeah, highly recommend this book. I loved this book. And the other thing I read on this book, on December, was American Royals, which I really, really loved too. So if you've been following on with me, you know that I'm not really a big multi-POV fan. Part of the reason why I didn't like Six of Crows, I didn't like this author, Catherine McGee, wrote Thousand Floor. And so, I don't really like multiple POVs throughout a book because I just get really confused and I can't really fall in love with one character. And so I brought the American Royals because I'd heard some really, really good things about it. And I was excited to read this. And then I didn't realize that obviously, given it's from the same author as The Thousandth Floor, she's gonna do multiple POVs. So as I started to read it, I was like, oh, cool, cool. And then the next chapter it turned and I was like, ah! But actually I was mildly surprised with this book. I really enjoyed the multiple POVs. I thought that this book actually needed multiple POVs. And I could actually see this being made into a TV series. Like, it's pretty good. It's like Gossip Girl, but make it royal. So there's a lot that's like happening. A lot of characters in here you just want to like get and like punch in the face, and then other ones you're just like, oh my god, just do it. So basically it follows Beatrice, her sister Samantha, her brother Jefferson, Jefferson's ex-girlfriend Daphne, and Samantha's best friend Nina. So those are the different chapters. And so there's a lot of deceit, there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of just, yeah, like, they're teenagers who are royals with their own teenage issues like normal teenagers have. But it was really, really great. I actually can't wait to read the second book. There was a lot that was left unsaid. And I just, there's a few characters in there I just kind of want karma to like get them bad. So yeah, I really, really like this book. I actually gave it 5 stars and I reviewed it on Goodreads. And basically this of 2020, I did not really do a lot as far as reading on Goodreads and being active on Goodreads, and that is a resolution I have told myself for 2021 I've made. I'm going to be more active on Goodreads. I've actually set a goal of 100 books this year, which is probably too ambitious. I don't think I'll make it, but we'll find out. But I'm going to be more active. I'm going to do more, be more diligent at doing my reviews on Goodreads instead of just posting them on my pages. I'm going to post them across all, and I really want to start to kind of tick off books that I'm reading so that I can hit my challenge, because so many people find it really useful to have a challenge to work towards, and I want to be one of them. Okay, so the final thing I got for the month of December was this. So for fans of Victoria Aveyard, they'll probably know she is releasing a new book. Okay, for some reason my camera decided it was hot. Well, we live in a really weird place, which is hot one day and cold the next, so thanks camera. Okay, anyway, so basically, yeah, Victoria Aveyard's got a new book coming out this year, a new series, Realm Breaker, and she's best known for her Red Queen series. But basically, she and Soman Chanani, I'm probably butchering his name, they got together. He's the author of The School for Good and Evil. So they basically got together and they decided to do a little spin-off of both of their books and make it into one. So I purchased this because I'm a book person, but you can also actually get them in ebook form online. But I was lucky enough to get a signed copy by both of them, so that's pretty sick. So basically, yeah, this book is just a whole heap of comic strips with a whole new story. It's called The Red School, and it just mixes all of the characters we know and love from Red Queen and The School for Good and Evil in a new storyline. So it's really, really cool. I love the fact that it's like pictured, like it's all pictures kind of in like a comic strip. I think that's really, really sick. And yeah, so that's what it looks like. So I got part 1, so it's in 2 parts. So this is part 1. And then I also got part 2. Sorry, that's someone is outside. So part 2 is not signed, but part 1 is. And so yeah, it just same deal. It just kind of continues where the other story left off. Yeah, it's lovely. It's really cute. If you are fans of either of them, it's kind of really nice fan fiction. And then this is at the back of the book. And then it's got Realm Breaker. Yeah, it's really nice fan fiction. It's really cute fan fiction. If you're someone who just loves either of those authors and you want to have that, it's yeah. So I got these and I think I love them. I think they're really, really cute. And I've never seen an author produce something like that where they get together with another author and basically mix their two characters and create a little storyline. So I really thought that was really cute, and that was why I got those. And that's it. That is my December. That is everything I got in December. So it was a pretty, everything I read in December. So it wasn't a lot, but it also was at the same time. So I don't think for me, December I can ever really focus on like I do the other months, just because it's a very different month. It's not the same. So yeah, if you like what you see and you enjoy coming along with me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video.